Hello, brave, beautiful, beloved soul friends. Today I have something a little different for you guys. I want to share a little trick that you guys can use to help reduce any flares of traumatic stress. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through this process and explain what you actually do, and then I'll explain the neuroscience of how it helps. Okay, so you're going to start by getting some eggs, and you can have just a few, or you can use a whole dozen, totally up to you. So go ahead and start by cracking them up and letting them come out. And as you do, look at everything. Pay attention to the details. Bring yourself fully into this experience as you submerge yourself in this process. And you're going to do a couple different things. One is you're going to look at the visuals of the actual egg itself. Okay. And then you're going to look at the visuals of the egg shells. Okay. And so here you've got, look, you've got some bubbles in here. You guys can see this really well. I want to make sure you guys can see it. There's little bubbles inside. You can pop them. You've got the shell. You can scrape this off, and then inside, tucked away in there, is like a membrane thing, and you can scrape it off and peel the membrane. You can put parts of it on your hand and watch it dry. You can pull little parts of this off and put it on your hand and just like watch it dry on your skin over the next 10 minutes or so, and it changes its shape as the moisture in it evaporates. And then you can go here and you can peel this, and it's just very cool. And so what you're doing here is you're using tactile and visual sensations to stimulate parts of your right brain hemisphere. And so what happens with traumatic stress is that there's pieces of data, okay, pieces of data in your right brain hemisphere that do not have connection with elements of your left brain hemisphere. And so by using your right brain in this type of activity, you're tapping into parts of your right brain hemisphere where you have pain secreted. Okay, and then what you can do is play with the shells. Okay, so you want to use your visual and tactile sensations to bring yourself into the present moment. Okay, you're doing a couple different things here, and I'll explain this as you go. Okay, so here's the fun part. You guys ready? You guys ready for this? And go very slowly, very mindfully, so you don't poke yourself with any of the sharp pieces that come. So you're going to just crumble it. You're going to just get your hands in there and feel it. Just crunch and grind and crunch and grind and crunch and grind and get it into as many teeny tiny pieces as you possibly can. Crunch and you grind and you crunch and you grind and you crunch and you grind. And you look at it as you go. Look at all the different little pieces. Bring yourself fully into the experience of just looking. Just look at it. Just look at all the little pieces. Look at the different colors. Look at the different shapes. Look at how there's the sharp shell and then there's this like thinner membrane thing to it. And look at how one thing became many, many, many pieces, and feel it in your hands. Listen to the sound of the crunching. Okay, and then just let that go. And then you can look at it all on your hands. You can look at all the different details. You can look at all the different pieces. You can look at all the different particulars, okay? And then once you're done kind of looking at that, you can rinse your hands off to keep going. Okay, now let's get another egg and go ahead and crack it. And just enjoy each little detail as you go. Like, look at it as it's cracked. Like, there was this whole thing, and now there's this little dent, and now it's splintered here, and there's a little bit of liquid that's starting to ooze off. And then you're going to just, like, open it up like magic, and maybe little pieces of shell fall in. That's okay. It's all just for the experience anyway, okay? This is all just for the experience. That's what the purpose of this is, okay? And so here, you're just going to look at it. You're going to admire it. There's a little bubble. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to feel it with my finger. I'm going to roll my finger over the bubble. And I'm going to just look at it and feel it and look at it and feel it, and then slowly pop that little bubble. Peel off the membrane on the inside. Just enjoy feeling it against my finger and watching the different textures swirl around. And then I'm going to go ahead and crunch, grind, crunch, grind. Listen to that sound. Okay, so neuroscientifically, what you're doing here is when you live with traumatic stress, let me rinse my hands off one more time and I'll explain some of this. Okay, so when you're living with traumatic stress, here, let's do this together, you guys. Okay, you got a couple eggs in your bowl. One little more, baby shell. While I'm talking, go ahead and get your nice clean hands and start to play with the egg yolks. Feel it. Feel the smoothness. Feel them slowly pop as you squeeze them. And just stay here a while. Stay here a while I talk. Okay? Absorb yourself in the tactile and visual sensations of your eggs while you listen to what I say, okay? It's going to be a little easier to pay attention if you're here in this tactile stimulation, okay? So what's happening is when there's traumatic stress flares, when you are in a PTSD episode, when you're in a state of flashbacks, when you're in a state of any form of traumatic flare, it could be, a panic attack or a full flashback, or you're just feeling very dysregulated, like maybe your thoughts are racing, or maybe you feel like you're drifting off into a daydream. Those are different types of dysregulation within your brain waves. And then there could be forms of nervous system dysregulation where you feel very tense and anxious, like you just have so much energy, but you can't really focus on where to put it. That's sympathetic dysregulation. Or you might feel like you just have absolutely no energy, like it's hard to breathe, you can't quite see clearly, like it's hard to get out of bed, you just feel completely fatigued. That's due to a dorsal vagal collapse, and that's the opposite end of dysregulation within the autonomic nervous system. Okay, so there's all this different stuff that's going on in the body. What's happening in the brain, though, what's happening in the brain during a PTSD episode is your right brain hemisphere is having an experience that is not able to connect with the left brain hemisphere. And at the same time, your frontal lobes or your prefrontal cortex are offline. It's shut down. You can't get there. It's not engaging. So what does that actually mean? Okay, go ahead and keep playing with your eggs and make sure you're taking lots of deep breaths. Okay, baby? Lots of deep breaths. Just bring yourself into this experience. Just bring yourself into this moment. Okay, play with it. Play with it. Look at it. Look at how fine it's mixing. Look at the little bubbles that come up. Look at the different patterns that swirl. Feel the silkiness of it on your fingertips, okay? And just stay here in this present moment with me, okay? And if this isn't quite doing it, you can go back to playing with the shells. You got super soft here and then super crunchy there, okay? You can play with this however helps you. Just be here right now, okay? Be here right meow. Right meow, beloveds. Right meow. Right meow is the only moment that exists. Right meow is the only moment that exists, okay? Okay, beloved. So what happens in a PTSD episode is your right brain is having its own conversation. And your right brain is very sensational. There's no sense of linearity. And so if something's going on in the right brain, there's no way for it to know that it's not something that's currently happening. Because the left brain would normally give context or normally give the context specifics. There would be linearity to it. It would have a sense of order. It was this happened, and then this happened, and then now I'm here. But because the information that's being activated in the right brain hemisphere doesn't have connection with the left brain hemisphere, there's no way for the physical body or the cognitive brain to innately comprehend that the sensations arising from activations of neural networks as data is projected into your experience. There's no way for it to know that those sensations are not something that's currently happening, okay? And your right brain hemisphere is all about visual and tactile simulation. So when we're here in this moment of tactile and visual stimulation, we're actually activating the parts of the brain that house a lot of the pain and are causing a lot or instigating a lot of the traumatic stress flares. Okay, but we're doing this in a gentle way. And because we're activating it, we're rewiring the neural networks. So when you activate your right brain hemisphere in a very particular way, you're activating the parts of the brain that house the core pain of traumatic stress. Every time a neural network is activated, it undergoes reconstructive wiring. Every time a memory is accessed consciously or unconsciously within awareness or beyond awareness, the data inside of it is becoming reconstructed. It's being rewired through experience. Okay? And so if we can activate those neural networks, but in a very gentle way, then we can help some of that pain heal without touching the particulars of the pain. You don't need to go into memories of trauma to heal the data that is stored inside of neural networks. Okay? And then in this process, you want to do this all mindfully. You're not just like, okay, I'm just here and like whatever. You want to bring yourself fully in the moment and be specific. I see this bubble. I see this bubble here. I am looking at this bubble right here. I'm looking at this bubble here. I'm looking at this bubble here. I feel this. I feel this. I feel this. I see this. I see this. I see this. You want to be mindful and intentional with your engagement of this. In that process, you're helping your prefrontal cortex engage. And that's that front part of your brain that helps you observe things. And when there's a traumatic stress flare, that part of the brain shuts down. It goes offline. It's no longer accessible. You can't get to it. It's not contributing to internal conversations of consciousness anymore. And then things can get scary and hard, and there's more dysregulation, and it can get pretty tough. And so we want to bring that prefrontal cortex back online in a very gentle way. Because if it's not gentle, then things will just kind of get more intense. We want to be able to have forms of gentle stimulus and gentle engagement so that stuff inside can just start to work a little better. Okay. So in this process, we are doing a couple different things. By being mindful and intentional and bringing ourselves fully into the moment, we're grounding ourselves, which helps re-engage the prefrontal cortex. Simultaneously, this activity focuses on tactile and visual sensory input, which is activating parts of your right brain hemisphere, which is where traumatic data is often stored. Traumatic data tends to linger in the right brain hemisphere and in the brainstem more than anything. And so by doing this, we're engaging neural networks. And so if we can keep ourselves grounded and have maybe even a sense of enjoyment. Like if you can just kind of enjoy the feeling here, just look at all the different things, you can swirl it around, look at the bubbles, you can look at the way the light reflects off of the eggs, you can twirl it, look at how there's little bubbles and foamy patches on the side, just look at it swirl, look at when you pull it up, there's like these little goopy things that hang, you can look at all of that, and you can shift back and forth between the egg yolks and the shells. You can crunch them. In this process, if you can have any kind of sense of lightheartedness, then you're putting that energy inside of neural networks housing pain without touching the pain inside of your brain and your body. You can heal it. You're rewiring neural networks that are causing traumatic stress flares when you do this. Okay? Healing is allowed to be light and gentle and filled with love and compassion and presence. You do not need to look at past pains to heal the neural networks housing them. Okay? So you can just play here. I'm going to rinse my hands off again. Okay, so let's do a couple more. And this time we'll do it with a little extra intentionality, okay? When you crack this egg, pretend like you're cracking open a brand new moment. Okay, pretend like you're cracking open a brand new moment. Like there's just been this collage of moments, but you know what? This moment is new and we're cracking it. We're cracking open the moment. We're cracking open the moment. And then as you pour the egg in, just allow it to pretend you're pouring your love into this new moment. You're pouring your love into this new moment. You're cracked open a new moment and you just poured love into it. Look at this. Look how fun that is. There's like one whole one and then it's like this pool of brokenness. It's art. Enjoy the artistry of this. Enjoy the artistry of your own miraculous existence. This is art right here. This is art right here. Okay, and then come to this eggshell and put an intention to just break any tension that's inside of your body. Pretend like you're just crushing any tension and releasing anything that's trapped inside of you. Gently releasing what's trapped inside of you. And just kind of put anything into the eggshell. Just imagine that you're putting stuff, energy from you into the eggshell, and you're just raw, 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 and then just let it go. Just let it go. And then just admire the beauty of it. And just admire how even in moments of raw, there can be some beauty. Okay, so just bring yourself into the moment. Just look at all the little details, look at all the little particulars, and just be here. Just feel your own presence. Look at your hands, look at the beauty of your hands, look at the complex detail of all the different portions of your hand. There's so many designs on your hand. And look at the eggs, look at the eggshells. Just feel that. Look at how the membrane is different from the shells. Just bring yourself into this moment. Okay, I'm going to wash off the eggshells. And then go ahead and come back to your eggs here, okay? And go ahead and play. And as you do, put an intention. You can put the intention to be anything you want, any kind of energy that helps you connect with you. This is me playing with the present moment, allowing my being to be flexible and fluid like the eggs. This is me being flexible and fluid like the eggs, just flowing with life, just letting go, just letting my heart be silky soft, silky smooth, just bringing myself into the moment, just letting everything be beautiful, just embracing the artistry of my own existence, just letting everything be as light as these egg yolks, just letting my being feel light as these egg yolks, just letting my being feeling as bright as these egg yolks, just letting my being feel so bright. I feel so bright. I let myself feel bright in this moment as I play with eggs. I let myself be light and bright. I let myself be light and bright. I let myself be light and bright. I create space to enjoy and appreciate how my fingers are collecting some kind of data, and that's going through so many complex processes to reach my brain so I can actually sense the feeling. Like, what a miracle. What a miracle to have sensory data in a body. Like, that is so crazy cool. Look, I got a little, it's like a little something, a little goopy something. Woo, like a little baby jellyfish. So just let yourself be light, let yourself play, let yourself be in the moment. The more light you can be as you engage in this, the deeper you're rewiring the neural networks that are provoking a lot of the traumatic stress. So just stay in the space as long as you want, and then when you're done, you can eat the eggs if your hands are really clean. You can just toss them out, but you can stay here as long as you want. If you want to just spend like a 3-hour period just playing with eggs, like, give yourself permission to do that. Because as simple and maybe even silly as this may seem, you are literally rewiring the neural networks that house a lot of your traumatic stress. Okay? So it doesn't matter about this stuff. This is just a tool. What you're doing to your brain is amazing and miraculous and magical and healing and transcendent and transformative, and it will empower you forward in profound ways. So give yourself permission to do little things like this, okay? bring yourself in to a moment. You can do this outside in the sunshine and feel the sun on your skin. You can put on an audio track and listen to some gentle music. You can do whatever you need to do here to just bring yourself into this moment and let yourself stay there as long as you feel inspired to. Okay, as long as you feel inspired to, or as long as you have time for, as long as you feel like you're able to. And you can do this as much as you want. And then if you want, you could even use this as some kind of craft. You could dye the shells with some kind of watercolor and put them on a painting or something. You could splash this on a canvas and just see what happens. Like, you can do whatever you want. Just create space to play and explore with visual and tactile stimulation in a gentle way. And eggs are just a few bucks, you know? There's, like, you're allowed to just create an opportunity for you to heal in this moment. And prioritize presence with your own being. Prioritize presence with your own love. Breathe deeply as you do this. Focus on your breathing in and out, and then make your breaths deeper and longer as you go, and shift back and forth from the crunchiness of the shells to the soft, silky smoothness of the eggs. Okay, and just bring yourself in and notice different stuff that you didn't notice before. Notice different things that you didn't notice a moment ago. And just keep bringing yourself into the present moment. Because every time you're bringing yourself into the present moment, while you're activating your right brain, you are rewiring neural networks that house data of traumatic stress. And just keep bringing yourself here, and keep bringing yourself here, and keep bringing yourself here. Okay, beloveds, thank you so much for joining this Conversations with Kristin. I know this is a little bit different. Wanted to share a little healing journey trick. There's so much beauty in life, and the more we can create space to see that beauty, the more we can the more we can heal ourselves. Okay, I'm sending you all lots of love and light, beloved soul friends, and I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. And if you'd ever like to connect one-on-one through a consciousness consulting call, I would be absolutely honored to share sacred healing space with you and serve as a healing journey guide. You can explore more about who I am, what I do, what I offer, and book a session with me if you feel inspired to at kristinwindsor.com. And I also have several free gifts for you guys. If you want to go kristinwindsor.com/gifts, there's dozens and dozens of different resources you can grab, and a lot of them match YouTube videos. So you can kind of match those up and explore those, okay? Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have so much fun with your egg play. And if you partake in this activity, feel free to come back and comment on the video and let me know how it went. I love to hear from you guys. Have a beautiful and blessed day, beloveds. I am sending you lots of love and light along your healing journey through life. Namaste. The love and light in my consciousness, see and honor the love and light in your consciousness. Have a beautiful, blessed, and glory-filled day, my beloveds. I'll see you next time. And then you'll actually see all of me, not just my hands.